Well, my custom 350Z is broken. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, it is appreciated, and this is true, unfortunately. I did break quite a bit of my stuff when we took my Z to Vegas this past week for SEMA. I'll go ahead and show you what we do need to fix, what we need to clean, and then whether or not I'm gonna have to just fully replace some of these parts. So for starters, the car is absolutely filthy. There's just dirt everywhere. That includes my interior. As you can see, there's just dirt all in here. All of this is dusty. All of the suede that me and Jonathan just put in this car is super dusty and it's gonna need to be cleaned.
Damn, I didn't realize it was that dirty.
Yeah, it's bad, I told you. Same thing in here. And again, it's kind of annoying just because we had just finished upgrading my interior to make it look clean. My Nismo floor mats are filthy. All this carbon, filthy. The suede, filthy. So I'm gonna have to sit there and wipe all of that down, clean it up. I don't even know if I have any suede cleaner on me. So I'm gonna have to try and clean the suede the best that I can without it. And then I might need to run to the store and pick that up because I don't know how clean I'm gonna be able to get it without buying actual suede cleaner. Which I was worried about when we did the suede to begin with, about it getting dirty and cleaning it, but I was like, oh, it's on the inside, it's not gonna get that dirty. That was before I took it to the desert.
Unfortunately, he was wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately I was wrong. On top of that, all my wheel wells are just caked in dirt, as well as just all these little bits and pieces. We went and took it to a wash immediately afterwards, or the night of anyway. Cleaned it up the best that we could, but everything is still just absolutely filthy. One of my buddies is supposed to be coming here soon to go ahead and detail the Z. Whether he shows up or not is a different story. If he doesn't, I might just start cleaning it the best that I can and see what I can do with it. But now to talk about the things that we actually have to like fully fix. Number one, have to break my taillights before fixing them. So even though we thought we sealed these good enough, dirt actually got inside the lens itself. So I need to take all the silicone and everything off of here, take the lens apart, clean it out, and then reseal these tails. My air filter is just caked in dirt, and even though I can just pretty easily replace the filter itself, I think I'm just gonna replace the cold air altogether. It's been there for years. There's like scrapes on the pipe itself from the wheels hitting it before, and then my couplings are all just like cracked and toasted and need to be replaced anyway. So I'm just gonna get a new air intake altogether, just because they're not that expensive, and I just figured it'd be better just to replace the whole thing. My front bumper, thankfully, withheld everything pretty good, including the custom canards that we had just recently made. However, actually before we left to Vegas, I noticed it was cracked right here where this rivet goes in. So I need to take this off. We're gonna have to repair that and then rewrap this area. Thankfully, when we wrapped the car, I asked Jonathan to wrap these separately, which ended up helping us out a lot because now we can just take that apart and then rewrap it, and it's not gonna be a problem, and we don't have to rewrap the entire front bumper. Speaking of rewrapping, this entire side skirt is going to have to get rewrapped because of all the spider cracking and pilling up right there, which sucks mainly because the side skirt was one of the hardest things for us to wrap when we wrapped this car last time. I'm going to have to take off the front fenders, going to have to take off my splitter, my custom canard, all that stuff just to be able to rewrap that side skirt and have it looking the way it's supposed to be. Forgot to mention on my front bumper, this strut right here, the little sleeve for it completely came off, and this strut was like bouncing around, slapping up against the road. So I bought another set of those as well. Now last but definitely not least, because it's the like most expensive mistake that I made, I curbed one of my wheels. Specifically one of my front wheels, and it was honestly pretty bad.
Yeah, I thought he hit the fucking curb. No, I didn't think he hit the. I thought you scraped your lip is what I thought you did. I was looking behind and I was like, ooh, he scraped really bad.
When we were going to the RWB meet the first night we were there, I was pulling into the parking lot, and as is a new state, I couldn't really gauge where it was. There was a car coming out, and I didn't want to like get too close to that car. I thought I had the room. I didn't. Smacked my wheel. Immediately sounded awful. Immediately felt like crap. There was a bunch of people there as well, so they all like did the oh, and yeah, it sucked. Thankfully it wasn't like insanely embarrassing, but it's still embarrassing. And again, these wheels are not cheap. They're multi-piece wheels, and like, these are my pride and joy. They are my babies and one of my favorite parts on my car. So this definitely sucks to see. But again, thankfully Jonathan had repaired the wheels on his 370, which posted a video for that not too long ago. So we're gonna go ahead and sand those down and try and get these repaired and looking as good as possible. And then while doing that, I also bought some new wrap for the Z to fix those items that I had mentioned. And then I'm gonna start deep cleaning, take apart the taillights, get all the other stuff taken care of so that my Z can be looking good again. Whoops, I forgot something actually. We also broke the brand new custom canard that me and Jonathan finished just days before heading out to Vegas.
And so, I am crying on the inside.
Yeah, thankfully this is one of like the easier things for us to lay in carbon, but it just ripped off and kind of cracked, and then I ran over it on accident, which didn't help, so that's fine. Yay! Oh, look, I'm gonna see the carbon a little bit. All right, so thankfully though, the canard itself isn't broken, so I don't have to remake those. We just need to relay it in carbon.
I want to show a demonstration of what happened. It's laying like this on the ground, and we're like,
Corey says, hey!
Don't back up, don't back up. And he backs up and just goes, crushed.
Yeah. If I didn't back up, honestly, it might have been okay, because backing on top of it definitely cracked the carbon more, so.
Well, he literally just went.
But here's a fun little test. Let's see how strong carbon actually is. Please don't cut your fingers.
God, it's just the epoxy. What the fuck?
I don't even think that damaged it.
Just my epoxy got all messed up, but.
Yeah, just cracks in the epoxy, but. And there is a show in about a month. Elite Tuner is coming back about, I think, December 15th or so. So we have approximately 30 days to get my Z ready to go, to get it looking good, because I haven't even debuted the gray in like New Mexico. I've posted pictures, I've posted videos, but I haven't taken it to any shows, Cars and Coffee, anything like that. So I do at least want to take it to one show looking good, and it's going to be a bit of a mission to do so. So wish us luck, and let's go ahead and get started on this long process.
I'm trying to do this as carefully as I can.
Yeah, let's try not to break more stuff if possible.
Hey, I didn't break anything.
All good.
You gonna speak or no? Oh, you cracked it. I didn't even notice you cracked it. Fuck!
Usual, me and Jonathan are working on multiple things all at once, trying to get the car at least as much as we can get done today done. So as you guys saw, Jonathan has been sanding these, already looking much better. We are going to polish them, make them look nice and new again, but for right now he's just making sure that he gets all the gashes out. And then this one's not too bad. I think this happened when we had taken my Z to Vegas the first time. It just got curved from the trailer, so he's going to go ahead and fix that as well.
Your wheels getting curved when we go to Vegas.
I don't know, man. It's just part of the journey, I guess. Wheel number one that had a slight bit of curb rash looks much better. There's still a couple of like deeper divots, but looks 10 times better than what it did. And then the one that I curved this last time in Vegas looks amazing. Again, there's some really deep ones that just, like, we'd have to take off too much material and everything, and it's just part of it, but compared to what they were, very happy with it. So, appreciate you. And then the Bondo hair that I put on this had already dried. Went ahead and sanded it so the cracks are nice and filled in. Gonna smooth that out a little bit more. But from there, I'm probably going to start taking off some of the side skirt pieces. That way we can go ahead and wrap that side skirt that we need to. And then while Jonathan's working on that, I went ahead and put the first coat of resin on my canard so that we can get the carbon laid again and have these looking good. It is really annoying that I snapped one of these lenses though, because the easiest part, or what was supposed to be the easiest part of this, has quickly become one of the hardest parts, because if I can't find anybody selling a pair of cheap lenses, then we're going to have to do the method that we did to build those to begin with, which is building them out of a flat piece of acrylic, which isn't too difficult, especially with the 350 tails, but it's just an annoyance that we shouldn't have to deal with, but we are, because I was being stupid and pulled the lens off too quickly. Either way though, I will pick this back up in a day or so when I'm pressure washing that, cleaning it out more, get some more supplies that we need to get everything fixed, and then little by little we're pushing to get the Z done and ready to go, hopefully by this next show. My hands are currently freezing because I'm washing my car at night in fall, but at least the Z on the outside for the most part is clean. Still need to wash the front bumper once that is finished being wrapped and the splitter rods are replaced. But my main focus and main concern was just all the dirt and everything. I didn't want it to stain the wrap, even though it's just a wrap and eventually I'm going to just end up painting it the Nardo gray. I still want it to look good, at least for shows and things like that that are coming up, so I wanted to try and get off as quick as possible. Especially all the dirt and everything that was caked in my rear diffuser, in my fender wells, and under the car. So little by little she's coming together. We still have to deep clean the inside, my carpets, my mats, all that stuff. I still need to buy suede cleaner to fully clean out the suede. And then we still have a handful of things to wrap, as well as cleaning the backside of my wheels. So the journey of fixing my 350Z after all the fun that I had continues. It's been a couple weeks since that last clip and we are still putting my Z back together. Definitely didn't make the deadline of the show because that was yesterday, but not really a huge deal on that. I just want my car to be put back together. We did just take off my side splitter, which some of the wrap came off. There's just dirt still covered everywhere. Unfortunately, we also found more stuff on my car that's broken while taking things off. We knew we were gonna have to rewrap the side skirt, which is why I had rebought some wrap. But under the wrap, you can see I totally just shattered my side skirt, which I didn't know before. But that also explains why the wrap did what it did. So now we're gonna take this wrap off. I'm going to fix the side skirt, let that sit and dry. Hopefully everything dries in time by the end of today, then we can get this wrapped, rewrap this part of my bumper, and then of course also do my tails. Shit. Oh my god. Look at this too. And same thing in there, just chunks of dirt that I still need to get out. So bumper extension piece is wrapped again. So my bumper is pretty much good to go back on, and then I put some fiberglass on the side skirt to try and repair that. So now that that's dry, I know it doesn't look good, but now that that's dry, I'm gonna go ahead and sand it down. Then we'll throw some Bondo on it, make it look really good, and then we can rewrap the side skirt. Rewind. Now just try and remember, or just rewind the video a little bit to see what the side skirt looked like just a couple hours ago. To this, so no longer cracked. I could make it a little more smoother, but honestly you won't be able to see it with the wrap and the canard there, but fully repaired and put back together from what it was. But now that this is fixed, we're going to go ahead and back the Z up into the garage and then rewrap the side skirt. All right, I don't know how many days have passed since the last clip, but this car has just been a process to put back together. Jonathan stopped by a few days ago to help me finish rewrapping my side skirt, which again I knew was going to be the biggest pains of this whole process just because the side skirts suck to wrap. So it took us like 2 days, not like full days, but days after work to try and get this done, just because it doesn't want to stick in that little groove from time to time, and we had to just mess around with it. But we finally got it. So again, thank you to Jonathan for helping me get that wrapped. But for today, the biggest thing is going to be building my taillights up again, which is super annoying because fixing the dirt inside my taillights should have been the easiest part of this whole process. Should have just taken the lens off, cleaned them out, resealed them, good to go. But of course, I had to be an idiot and crack one of them, so now we have to spend at least an hour to 2 hours rebuilding the lens from scratch. So let's get into that. So definitely a process. Sorry I'm not getting too in-depth in it. There's just like 3 videos on how we do this whole process. But we are trying to make this look better than the first time, which in turn means if it does come out better and I like the way it looks, we might end up building a second one even though I don't technically need it. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and cut the shape out, put it on, see, make sure that everything fully fits and looks good, and then go from there. For starters, this edge right here, Jonathan did a great job of just cutting a straight line. But where it fits is a lot nicer. But the big thing this time that we didn't do last time is we took the lens and kind of folded it over this edge and then folded it down here as well, because if you look for this guy, it's just kind of flat all the way through, which didn't look bad at all. But I definitely think the folded edge is what helps make it look more OEM, which means you did such a good job, you get to come back again and help me do the other one. And just so you guys can see with all the plastic wrap offs, you're not like, what the hell is he talking about? That looks bad. This looks really good. I'm super happy with it. Obviously, we still need to add the silicone and paint the edge, but damn good job. Well, finally back together. At least for the most part. There are still things I am fixing, unfortunately. I still need to get the canards back on, for instance. The left one is perfectly fine still, but the right one, it's just being an absolute pain in the ass still. I don't know if it's because they're like laid on top of metal, but they will dry and like sit for days just being dry, and then there'll be a tiny spot that isn't dry, and when I sand it, it just ruins the whole thing and I need to restart over. So I'm gonna have to continue to rebuild that, and that process might take a couple days, might take another 2 weeks, might take a couple months. So I don't want to just hold on to this video until that's finished. On top of that, I'm really happy with how this taillight ended up looking, so I do want to go ahead and rebuild this taillight probably this weekend with Jonathan. Because again, I just want this car to look as perfect as I can. But overall, I'm super happy that my car is back together. I haven't had it now for about 2 months after everything with Vegas, and now that everything is said and done, honestly, I don't know if I would do it again. Not unless this channel is actually bringing in enough income for me to justify doing so. But I broke a lot of stuff. That trip costed me like $1,500 by itself, and then I had to go ahead and spend more money to fix all the stuff that I broke. And it wouldn't have been as bad if I didn't snap this taillight and cause more work for us, or if the side skirt hadn't been the one to mess up, because that's a pain in the ass to wrap. But it was a lot of time and money to try and get this car back to the way it was. Vegas was a good experience. I'm definitely happy that I was able to take it out, take it to the shows, take it to the desert, get the photos and the videos that we did. But again, it's just, I'm not sure if it's worth it to do it again. Unless my car's actually in SEMA, then that's a different story. So we'll be pushing for that next year. With that being said, it is freezing out here. I cannot feel my fingers currently, so I'm gonna head on home. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already. I hope to see you guys in the next video. And by the time I post the next video, it's probably gonna be 2025. So I will see you guys next year. Thank you so much again. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.